Let's talk Kyle Kuzma. He just raised the bar. Kyle Kuzma started his own newsletter. I know. Mind blown. This just gave athletes a new avenue to monetize and plan for the long term and build sustaining wealth. Kuzma, in my eyes, he's a legit guy. No fluff, no bullshit, no PR, no middleman. He told you exactly what he was doing and what he's investing in. And I learned something. If you're an athlete right now and you don't have a newsletter that's sharing what you're up to inside and outside your sport, you're behind. Let's go, baby. This is another episode of the Athletes and Assets podcast. I'm your host, Noah Lack, and I bring on your favorite athletes to chat about the business they're building. Today, though, we have a little solo pod because I want to discuss something that was under the radar, but I think in my world is a very big deal, and I'll explain why. Let's get right into it. Let's talk Kyle Kuzma. Kyle Kuzma, going into year 8 of the NBA, averaged over 20 points last year, bucket. Spent his first couple seasons with the Los Angeles Lakers. I think at that time, with the Lakers, there was a lot going on. You had Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram. Kuzma asserted himself early. He's averaged double digits in points since he stepped into the league, which I find very impressive. Won an NBA championship with the Lakers in 2020, in 2021 season. That was during the bubble. He averaged 12 points a game there. So legit contributor on a championship team. You can say whatever about the bubble and the asterisk or whatever. The dude can hoop. He's been a really good player in this league for a long time. For 7 years, he's been super consistent. I think a lot of his reputation early on was kind of about the flash, right? He was in LA, he's got the tattoos, he's got the Hollywood girlfriend, he's got Winnie Harlow. He's flashy, he's for the gram, he's very Hollywood, tailored towards Gen Z. Was on the Nelk Boys podcast. I mean, the guy's checking all the sort of pop culture boxes, if you will. But Kuz has done a lot of awesome stuff off the court, and he just raised the bar. So Kuzma has been very active on the venture capital side of things. I think that was made notable earlier this spring when he became an advisor for a venture capital firm called Scrum Ventures, who is investing in sports technology and entertainment. Kuzma has been an investor in a soda alternative called Lemon Perfect, a consumer data company called Surf, a watch marketplace called Bezel. So Kuzma, it's been really documented that Kuzma has been involved investing in the tech space. But he just did something the other week, which one is genius, and two, just once again, raised the bar. Kyle Kuzma started his own newsletter. I know. Mind blown. Big deal. Look. Let me explain. This is a very big deal because this just gave athletes a new avenue to monetize and plan for the long term and build sustaining wealth. And I'll explain why. Email marketing is becoming so powerful in this era of ADD short form content bullshit. And the newsletter, if you have a good one, it allows people to keep tabs on you so personal in a way that is pretty much more effective than any other channel. And no athletes have really penetrated this a bit. Devon Kennard, former NFL player, does a great job of this. He has the Devon Kennard newsletter, which you guys should check out. But this is why I'm super excited that Kuzma just did this, because for those who don't know and you don't have a newsletter for your business, you are out of line at this point. You are behind the curve. Your business, whatever it is, needs to have a newsletter. And I'm living proof myself. Our newsletter is why we've been able to continue to do what we are doing, because now we allow a lot of subscribers. We monetize every newsletter. You can organically build an audience through the stuff that's going on with your company. For Kuzma, he is his own entrepreneur and investor. And so basically the newsletter is about his life on and off the court. So we'll share a little bit here on the screen, a little bit of his newsletter. It's called Kuz Control. Really well done. It documents, he shows his pictures with Magic, Winnie, Odell Beckham, his trip in Monaco, Vegas, some nostalgic stuff about what Kobe and LeBron taught him about investing. I'm looking at his debut, his debut newsletter, and also his current investments that he lists out here in this photo. Margin, Rhythm, Mahana Fresh is a healthy eats company. We have Rhythm, a sports betting platform. Kind of sketchy if you're athlete investing, sports betting, but that's neither here nor there. That's not the point. AI sports betting app for those of you that are interested. Margin Skincare, redefining men's skincare. Who doesn't want to invest in a skincare brand you think you could market very well? I think with the skincare CPG stuff, I think with the food, I think with the CPG, I think that really comes down to really good marketing. I think sports betting as well, actually. I think the sports betting space is getting so big that where are you putting your brand will determine a lot of things. Anyways, the fact that Kuz is sharing his investments in his newsletter, it opens up Pandora's box. Everyone is going to want Kuz as an investor. It's good brand signaling, and athletes are catching on, realizing that I'm sharing what I'm currently investing in. I'm going to get more opportunities, and people are going to come to me for more stuff. Now, you obviously have to vet the bullshit for the real stuff, and Kuz can invest in this stuff, and I'll go to zero, but that's part of the game. But while he'll never have a career unless he makes it big somewhere else after playing basketball. Right now, he has the most cash flow he's ever had, and so this is the best time to actually use that for passive investing. But I love the newsletter approach instead of Kuz maybe just making Instagram stories about it because of 3 reasons. 1, the newsletter is the most direct form of communication online that you can have when people are dialed in. Listen, I know Gen Z is the majority audience for athletes right now, but older people are still alive, dude, and they still make decisions with their checkbooks, and they're the big decision makers. When you're in their face once a week, 3 minutes at a time, they remember you. They start to follow you. And so people are seeing Kuz and with the stuff he's up to and his investing and his business acumen and what he's looking at. People are reading this stuff. He's on LinkedIn. It comes to your inbox. If you're on LinkedIn, he's willing to connect with you. Very approachable, whether him or his agent, Austin, whether Austin's ghostwriting it or not. It's very approachable. It's a great idea, and it's coming right to your inbox. Okay? Direct, consistent communication. Number 2, why I'm so excited about this is because I hinted to it at the last point, but people now I personally, now I'm more interested in Kuz. Increased engagement and the impact that Kuz is making. Now, when I think about investment opportunities, Kuz is I know he's in the ecosystem. That is impactful. I know I'm going to be more engaged with what he says because sometimes how you write is a great way to show how you think. And Kuz's writing, edited by my guys, Austin Eastman, his agent, co-founder of Kicks Media, and my guy Dom Bullard, founder of Athletiverse. These guys are editing it, but Kuz is the publisher. You can get a glance into his mind of what he's thinking, and the writing is very impactful versus a standard Instagram post. Like even if Kuzma posted Instagram photos with the founders of Rhythm, it wouldn't have the same impact with if you're reading it in the newsletter. And I think that's what you should apply to yourself. Like your writing is a great way to communicate who you are and what you're about. And you can do that super fast and it's a low lift. I love it. And then number 3, I'm learning something. The newsletter, Insights in Brand Building. I learned a ton from this newsletter, just one edition. And Kuzma, in my eyes, he's a legit guy. He listed out what he's been up to. No fluff, no bullshit, no PR, no middleman. He told you exactly what he was doing and what he's investing in. And I learned something. I learned what he's interested in. I learned about, I dove deep down into the AI betting rabbit hole. I'm not a gambler myself, but I dove into the rabbit hole. And I learned something. And I think when someone teaches you something that quickly, that resonates with me and that sticks with me. And I think it's pretty important. So I don't understand. So some of y'all, you can bring a horse to the water, but you can't make him drink. And that's the problem with a lot of you athletes who don't realize this is your next tool to unlock the next 10 years of your life. It's a simple tool. It's super easy, but the newsletter will unlock the next phases of your life and continue to build your brand offline. And you better listen to me, because Kuzma is ahead of you guys and you're already behind. And so what I would do is consider working with someone to help publish your newsletter. Like, dude, it's a no-brainer. And if it's not me, work with someone else. If you're an athlete right now and you don't have a newsletter that's sharing what you're up to inside and outside your sport, you're behind. You are wasting your opportunity while your name is still the most relevant. I would listen to this very closely and start publishing and start getting on people's emails. It's just as important as Instagram. Trust me. This was a quick run of the Athletes and Assets episode. I hope you enjoyed that. I talked about a little about Kyle Kuzma, the newsletter, the impact of the newsletter. I've been your host, Noah Lack. Hope you enjoyed that. Please let me know what you think of the episode. If it was valuable, did you learn anything? What would you like to hear in the future? Your feedback's essential. Would love to hear from you guys. Thank you so much, and I'll see you for the next one.